All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to come out and say it. Introduction aside, I'm just going to come out and say it, man. The good doc is getting old, ladies and gentlemen. I know the boyish good look and the charm doesn't show it, but I know it. The good doc is officially getting old, right? And the older I get, it seems as though I'm starting to become okay with the idea of guys who choose the pay for play approach when dealing with women abroad. And this can be in any particular country, but of course, more specifically, talking about the Philippines, right? So, a lot of guys who may not be familiar with the terminology of pay for play, these are the guys that choose to pretty much forego relationships for situationships, right? These are the guys that choose to deal with women on a day-to-day basis more so than trying to find something long-term or things of that nature. Basically, they lead with their wallet. They basically say, hey, look, I don't need a relationship, not looking forward, but if you want to do something, I'm willing to pay you for services rendered, right? And if you would have asked the good doc back in the day, I'd be like, nah, man, I find pay for play to be cheating, or it's usually for the guys who can't use their mouthpiece, don't really want to communicate or can't communicate with women, and to an extent, that still is true. But I've also grown an understanding of the guys who seemingly have those particular qualities, but opt for the pay for play way of life because of one particular word that we're going to talk about in this day and we're going to expand on, and that's patience, ladies and gentlemen. As I get older, I become less patient. Not gonna lie to you. I'm like, yo, I need to get this shit done now. I got shit to do, right? My life is a whole lot busier than it used to be. And if you transition that thought process in the word patience into everybody's everyday regular life, especially when it comes to dealing with women, sometimes guys just do not have the patience to go through the process of the communication of trying to get to know a young lady. You see? Now, I know that it's possible. This is not possible for everybody, but I know it is possible that you can meet a young lady one day, or meet a young lady, excuse me, man, phone interrupting my talking, but you can meet a girl one day, or meet a girl 1 second and end up sleeping with her the next, right? That is a plausible thing that could potentially happen, right? I know guys that have had it happen for them, and it's something that they put a feather in their cap on, but at the same time, that is not normal, okay? Let's call it for what it is. It's not normal for guys to meet a woman one day and sleep with them the next, right? If there's pretty much no financial gain involved. That is damn near a rarity if it does happen, okay? But the word patience, right? Sometimes guys just don't want to get to know nobody, right? Let's call it for what it is. Guys don't want to get to know people. Maybe they're already in a situationship and they just trying to figure out a way to get to something new, and they figure out the quickest way to get from point A to point B is to provide a monetary incentive. Am I mad at that? As I get older, the answer is no. If you're an older gentleman and you're like, man, I've worked my ass off, got a plethora of money, and I don't mind spending it, towards that particular activity of such, who am I to tell you again what to do with your money? And who am I to say that shouldn't take that approach? Again, maybe my mindset is different as I'm starting to age. Do I believe that I will participate in said activity? It doesn't look like it anytime soon. Of course, I'm married. But, for myself, I don't see that being a thing for me. Just, hey, look, I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to bar find a young lady and just call it an evening. That's just not something that I see for myself, but that's because I've lived in the country for a set period of time and I've gotten to know a way of being able to talk to young ladies if I needed to. And of course, I don't. But I've kind of grown into a process of my own that has seemingly worked. That doesn't necessarily mean that I have to go to a bar to find a young lady to spend some time with for the evening. Okay? But again, as I get older, and for the new guys coming into the country that may be older, for the guys that come in and may not have the time, patience, and the energy to run around and chase women and be on online dating sites and talk to this girl and talk to that girl and, keep up with them, go on a coffee date here, take this girl there, go back to the hotel room, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, you're not 100% sure. Rather than going through that entire process, I do believe that the monetary gain that said Filipina could potentially get from foreigner will definitely encourage them to be more acquiescent to your whims. Let's call it for what it is. If you're gonna pay for it, chances are we can forego all the extra stuff, right? You don't necessarily have to go through that process. And again, this is something that I'm starting to think about as I get older. And as I get older, I can't be mad at gentlemen who choose this lifestyle. I've never been really mad at anybody who chooses that lifestyle because, again, there are reasons why guys choose that lifestyle. Again, maybe your communication isn't on point and you don't want to go through the process of getting to know a young lady. You just need some entertainment for the evening and that's your way. I can't stop you. Do I encourage it? Not necessarily, but who am I to stand in your way for doing what it is that you want to do, right? So I've learned to be less angry at it. And I've learned to say, you know what, man? If my old school player over here who about 79, 80 years of age, want to get him a nice little 18-year-old, some people may call it creepy. I can't judge, right? If that's your way and that's what you want, and the only way you can get to it is the way aforementioned, by fiscal means, monetary means, all right, you do you, player. You do you. Now, I am of the school of thought, like the majority of my brethren who do preach an alternative route to dealing with Filipinas that don't necessarily require leading with the wallet. I am of the, not necessarily the minority, I believe, but I am of that school of thought wherein there are easier, quicker ways, not easier and quicker, but there are better ways to go about dealing with young ladies in a place like the Philippines, right? I don't mind talking. I don't mind the communication. I don't mind if it takes me a couple of days. But then again, that's because I have patience for that. A lot of guys do not have that patience, right? It's just not in their DNA. Look, I'm trying to get laid now. How can I get from point A to point B the quickest? It looks like the wallet. Now, this is where things start to get a little iffy, and this is where things start to get a little shifty. Because we all know what comes with the school of thought of leading with your wallet. It could put you in danger, right? You start flashing money and spending money and throwing money to this girl and that girl, and then all the girls think that you are just such this rich, foreign man. They tell their cousins, their uncles, Tito, in the background, their pensons, their cousins and stuff. They're like, hey, are you looking for an easy lick? Do I have the guy for you? Right? And I just don't want you to be a stat, right? Because that's the lifestyle that you choose to go about. Am I mad at you for doing it? No, but you have to be low-key about it, right? If you're gonna choose one young lady, that would be my way of approaching it if it was the pay-for-play activity, one young lady at a time, right? Whether you deal with her for a couple of days or a week or so, and then, you go your separate ways, whatever it may be. One lady at a time. And once you're done dealing with that one particular lady, guess what? You got to change hotels. Got to change hotels. A new spot. Never entertain a lady or two ladies at the same spot. So again, your money is going to always play a role in this. So it's not just about the money that you're spending for the particular young lady. It's going to cost you to find a place to lay your head or have residence, right? Unless you live in a condominium or you're renting out a condo wherein people have to go through the security before they go up to your floor or whatever, or get inside your building or your complex, chances are your best move is to A, never entertain at your home base, wherever that is, but B, if you are going to entertain for a period of time, the next time you entertain or feel like, going with somebody else, it'll be time for a switch up, right? Got to go to a new place. Because you never want said young lady that you used to deal with come knocking on that door while you're entertaining somebody else. You feel me? That's the mentality you have to have. if you're going to go for this pay for play mentality, right? It's just the only way that you're going to go about this, I feel, the safest way. I don't encourage it all the time, don't condone it, but I will say that I understand it. That is what this video is all about. But with that understanding comes a train of thought that says, hey, one young lady at a time. Once I'm done with her, new spot, new room, new hotel, who this, whatever it may be, you've got to move. You got to. Because the last thing you want is somebody knocking on that door. Maybe that young lady you used to deal with, it may not be. And the only thing I want to do is keep my gentleman safe, okay? So if this is your lifestyle of choice and this is what you have committed yourself to, again, to each their own. But at the same time, got to be safe about it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my time, effort, and energy. Appreciate y'all locking in. It's been a good night, man. Y'all know what it is, man. If you want to get your International Passport Association, the certified member hoodie, listed in my merch store below this particular video. All my good shit, got good docs, good books, all that stuff listed in links in the description area below. Has been fun, it has been real time for Good Doc to go and get to get. Y'all, man, y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. Doc is out. Peace.